Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing my out-of-box review for the real grade Wing Gundam EW. And let me just start off as always by saying a big thank you to MindFenix Hobby Store for sending me this kit to share with you guys. Please do check out their site. You guys, thank you for that. And so yeah, here we have what was previously known as the Wing Gundam VRK here in real grade form. And it is looking pretty good. For the most part, the kit is going to be mostly the same as the Wing Zero EW real grade kit, but of course we just have some new parts there on the forearms. A lot of parts have been color swapped, of course, and then obviously the wings are totally different now, and then our weapons are different too, of course. We'll take a look at that as well. So it should be pretty familiar. If you built the Wing Zero EW, you should have no problems with this kit. If you built the Wing Zero EW, you should also know that it's, as I said in my review of that kit, this is one of the easier real grade kits. It's really quite simple, and I think it's, as I said in that review, it's just due to the fact that it doesn't really have a whole lot of like the second layer inner frame. For the inner frame for this kit, it's basically just that B runner inner frame, whereas with other RGs we have kind of more inner frame parts built onto that. This one doesn't really have that much. It's just most of this armor is just built directly onto that B runner inner frame for the real grade kit. So it makes it relatively simple. It makes it really quite comparable to a master grade, but to the master grade kit, which is a little bit old and kind of simple. So having this in real grade form, relatively simpler real grade, is kind of comparable to that kit, really. The difference, of course, is that you're not going to be building the inner frame as you would with the master grade, but yeah, for the master grade kits, between the VRK and the regular Wing Gundam Zero, I prefer the Wing Gundam VRK. I really like that master grade. It's really great. Just the design in general, though, it would be kind of a toss-up. Honestly, the Wing Gundam with the angel wings, it has a nostalgia factor for me. The angel wings are admittedly sort of silly, but I just have such fond memories of watching Endless Waltz when I was young and like first getting into Gundam and Gunpla, I guess, at the time. At the same time, I just love the much more Katoki style design here in this version of his artwork for the Wing Gundam. So either one, they're both really cool, great designs, I think, personally. They're not for everyone, so yeah, no, you're just gonna have that, of course. So overall, the kit is nice. I mean, as I said with the review previously, and I think I'm going to be referring to that review a lot, but it should make sense as they're 80% the same kit. As I said in that review, really, really nice kit. Very simple. It goes together well. The amount of details on it, I think, may not be for everyone. Personally, I like the master grade's level of details more. It's a little bit less, a little bit more simple in terms of the details on the armor. But this is an RG, so that should be expected that it's going to have a lot more details on the outer armor. So take it or leave it. You can always get rid of some of those by using putty and this and that. So there's always things that you could do about that if you really wanted, and that actually might be a pretty cool project idea to do someday. In the meantime, if you'll remember, this does come with all of the real grade marking stickers and all of that. I'm not going to use those. The only stickers that I did use for this are in the green circle inside the chest piece there in the center, and then on the cameras on the head and the eyes. So otherwise, the rest of those stickers are going to someone else. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at this kit. I'll talk a little bit about the articulation, but I went over the articulation in the review of the regular Wing Zero EW, and this is just an RG, so you should expect just regular RG articulation, which is always nice and just good. So in the head, you see nice color separation there. This piece here on the side of the head, that's now white and blue, that was originally just one color in the previous kit. Now it's separated into two parts to give you that nice color separation, though. So that is one new thing about the mold of this kit. Here, the Vulcans here on the side just open up, if you remember that. So those will open on both sides. The cockpit will slide out. There we go, a little stiff, but as you can see that does open up there. No pilot figure inside, but still a nice detail to put into such a small kit. The waist here, bending back, you're going to get some separation here, so it's going to have a little bit nice back bend there before the backpack is almost touching the back skirt. Forward, going to be a little bit, not too much, and side to side again a little bit. So in the waist you got a little bit of movement all around, not too much, but it's pretty good. Shoulder armor is going to go up out of the way, no problem. The arm, before you're going to be running into these things, you can bring those forward out of the way if you want. It's going to be coming up like so, so moving the arm up. It's going to be no problem. Rotating at the top, double joint in the elbow to give you a nice full bend there. And then just a wrist is just on a ball joint. Yes, that's what I wanted to say. The skirt armor is all separated and moves nicely out of the way for when you want to do stuff posing the legs. Side skirt is only going to go up about that much because it's going to start running into the torso there. It's a little bit limited. The back skirts are going to move separately on there if you want. And we do have an action-based connector for connecting up underneath the backpack. Again, I'll show you that momentarily. Let's talk about the wings while we're here, because that's one of the few new things about this kit. This part here opens up ever so slightly. This blue part here in the center moves back and forth again ever so slightly. Otherwise the whole mechanism moves up and down. It can rotate here and then move back and forth there. So good articulation there. I feel like the connection to the back is a little bit not as secure as it was, as you can see there. It does seem to fall off. Maybe I just don't have it pressed on. Oh, there we go. Maybe I just didn't have it. Apparently I just didn't have it pressed on all the way. Okay, so never mind that. Nice clear pieces there in the arm. Again, it does have stickers for that if you want. In the legs, just going to be very normal here, rotating at the top. Nice double joint. It does have the same problem as before, whereas like after you bend the leg and you get this really nice movement there with the thigh armor separating, this lower armor on the leg separating there as well. You can see it sort of slides, and you can see a little bit of the two-tone gray, two-tone white. This back calf and front shin are in that slightly off-white gray color. But anyway, nice movement here of the armor, but as we know, it has this weird peg thing that doesn't go in anything. And then when we move the leg back, you have to bend it in just the right way. Otherwise, you'll get this, that knee armor that is just not sitting where it's quite supposed to be, and you can't put it down and it doesn't sit flat. You just kind of have to mess with it a little bit to bring the leg back straight in just the right way to get that leg armor to look right. There we go. Anyway, so it just takes a little bit of finicking there. Down in the feet, we've got this front armor is going to move up and down. Otherwise, the ankles are going to move side to side just a little bit, really not all that much. It's kind of limited by this wraparound piece that goes around the back of the ankle. Toes are going to point down, and we do have some separation there in the toe, again, as usual. And then just otherwise, just nice feet, nice detail up underneath the feet, and all of that. So let's go ahead and take a look at our accessory stuff. But just before we get into that, I do want to point out a few extra parts here. Because this is a mostly recycled kit, we do have some extra parts that we're not going to use that have been changed the colors. So on the shoulders, you'll notice the lower part there is red. We do have that part in white if you wanted, so you have that option. On the side of the head, if you didn't want the blue parts on the side of the head, we do have those pieces for the side of the head just all in white. Then for the faceplate, we have this piece, which is at the small, on the side of the face, you have these small little red fins. If you wanted those in blue, you can use this. If you want the small circles on the front of the shoulder armor, those are now in gray. If you wanted them in blue, you have that option. And then for the sides of the arms, if you didn't want this new mechanism on the side of the arms, you just wanted like the original red fins, we do have those. So we've just got those little red fins for that as well. The only other extra part we have is the backpack piece, but that's not really going to do you much of any good for this kit. So this is pretty much just one to toss in your bin of extra parts. Now, as I said, for the action-based connector, we do have two different ones. One that's going to go up underneath the crotch as usual. The other one that's going to go underneath the backpack, so I'll use that momentarily. Then we do have our standing pilot figure, just small little figure here of Hiro Yui, just kind of standing there doing his like hand in front of the face kind of pose. Then speaking of hands, we do have a few different options for the hands. On the kit there you can see I have the closed fists. We do also have two open hands, very nicely posed open hands, so very happy about those. Then we have our RG style manipulators, just the much more articulated ones that are kind of nice sometimes, but overall not really that useful. And then much more useful, we have the just trigger finger hands, so holding hands you can use for the rifles, or in this case only rifle. Then we do also get this small piece. This is for using the Drezwerg rifle parts with this new rifle. So we get a new rifle part here for that. And so here is our new rifle. Very, very long. I feel like it's probably longer with the master grade even, but either way it's still very, very long. The energy canisters there are molded in a slightly darker color, so those are going to stick out nicely. We have this nice yellow accent running down the bottom of the cannon there. Of course, it comes with a sticker for the camera. I don't have that in there at the moment. This blue part on the back is actually two pieces, but that's going to move up and down. I think that has to do, and slide like that. That has to do with the transformation to bird mode. I should mention also that I'm not going to show you guys this kit in bird mode in this review. If you're interested in seeing it in bird mode, here's what it looks like in bird mode. Just refer to these pictures here. It's really not the most interesting transformation, I think, so I'm just really not going to be bothered with doing that. Then we have our two racks of extra energy containers. These are the same. These are just going to attach onto the sides of the arms here, like so, very simply just attached onto there, like that, no problem. And then we have our shield, a very nice shield, I must say. I do like the design of this shield quite a bit. Very simple, we just have red and white and then some gray underneath. And this piece here at the bottom, again, that is for the transformation, that's for holding the rifle. So I think if you're not going to transform it, you can probably just not put in that piece. I'll have to take it out later. And then up in here, we have just a shield mount. This is for mounting it onto the arm. This is just going to wrap around to the inside of the arm like that, and then you can kind of close up the shield around the arm like so, and it is nice and secure. So that's good. And then inside there you can see is our beam saber handle, and it's very difficult to get out of there. It's very deep inside here. I think I better take off that piece and try to get this out of there. There we go. Now that's out. It's plugged in there using this peg, which is the peg that you also use to plug into the hand. Then we have, finally, our two beam saber effect parts, but we only have one beam saber handle, so we only need one of these, and that's just going to go in there like that. So that's it for all the accessories. And here's just a look at how the two of these are going to look side by side, or in this case back to back with the width of the kits. They're not going to fit on my base. They're standing side by side, but hopefully you can still get the idea by seeing them at least next to each other there. If you want something to catch people's attention on your shelf, I mean, obviously the brighter colors of the Wing Gundam here are going to be, they're going to pop so much more. I think the bright colors there look so much better in terms of color scheme. The Wing Zero, though, of course, those big angel wings are going to be quite the attention grabber as well. So, you know, it could go either way. Personally, I much prefer the colors of the wing here. I really like those bright colors. The addition of a lot more yellow and red on there just pops so much more. So that's what I think. But again, both of them really great kits. One thing I realized that I said mistakenly earlier when talking about the action-based connectors, I showed there's two of them. One of them actually you don't need. One of those two action-based connectors is meant to plug exclusively into the backpack for the Wing Zero EW, so you don't need that. you use the same action base connector whether you want to connect this up underneath the waist as usual or into the backpack. It only both of those connection points will use the same connector, so that is about that. Other thing is, once I've got this up on an action base, sad to report that one of the things I was worried about with this kit is its ability to hold up that rifle with it being so long. It's really not that heavy, but it's just very long, as you can see here. So I was worried about the wrist being able to take it, and it doesn't take it that well. It looks okay now, to be honest, but the wrist is definitely going to sag under the weight. The arm itself and the elbow don't have a problem. Those are stiff enough. And obviously with a little glue, this, whatever, there's plenty of ways to fix the wrist if you want, but I'm just saying, without doing anything to it, the wrist is going to sag under the weight of the rifle. Now, as much as I do love that rifle, personally, with this kit and with the Wing Zero EW, both of these RG kits, I really love posing them with the beam sabers, and that's actually not really a very common thing with, you know, so many kits come with some sort of sword, whether it be a beam saber or some sort of physical sword, and they're really just not really my thing most of the time. But with maybe it's because of the big wings. I don't know, something about the wings and the sword look good for me, I don't know, but for some reason posing these wing kits, the Wing Zero EW and this Wing Gundam EW, both of them look really nicely posed with those beam sabers, so that's pretty cool. So with that, it's gonna just about do it for my review of this kit. As I said, the wrist doesn't hold the weight of that rifle so well, but as you can see, I mean, you can work with it. It doesn't look too bad, and as I said before, really easy to fix that just with some glue or something. So, you know, eventually later I'll have to glue that or something once it's painted, but for the meantime, it's gonna stay like this. Anyway, great kit for posing, great construction, really nice accessories and all of that. So overall, very highly recommended kit. If you're a fan of the Wing series or just this design in general, I think you would really appreciate this kit, even if you're just a fan of like Verka designs, because it doesn't quite have the same feeling as the Master Grade, but if you wanted something in a smaller scale, you know, this is definitely a good option for you. So with that, I'm gonna wrap up this review. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you do have any other questions or comments, please do leave those down below. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.